Welcome to the deep dive. If you look at the headlines, Japan's tourism industry, well, it looks like one of the world's great recovery stories post-pandemic.
It does, yeah.
The government's official policy, the Tourism Nation Promotion Basic Plan, talks about this sector as a genuine pillar of growth and, the crucial engine for revitalizing regional economies.
That is definitely the compelling story you see on the outside, and the recovery in inbound traffic certainly backs that up.
Yep.
However, when we really dive into the internal structure of the industry, especially the lodging sector, our sources reveal what one blog called a quiet crisis. Despite the high demand, the fundamental business model is, well, really struggling.
Okay, that contradiction, high demand outside, structural failure inside, that's exactly what we need to unpack today. Our mission is to analyze these critical problems in Japanese tourism, understand the urgent need for comprehensive digital transformation, or DX, and explore a potential strategic lifeline. This lifeline seems to be coming from Vietnam's rapidly expanding IT sector, looking specifically at talent, tech, and cost efficiency.
Right. We really have to start with the three deep-seated realities that are stopping this industry from truly capitalizing on its growth pillar status. The first problem is structural and cyclical. Severe labor shortages made worse by poor working conditions.
The scale of the shortage is pretty startling, isn't it? Our sources note that back in January 2023, the labor shortage rate for non-regular staff in hotels and inns hit the highest reported percentage among all top industries.
It did, an incredible 81.1%.
Wow.
And it's not just the number of people, it's the quality of the jobs driving this really high turnover. The annual salary for the lodging industry in 2022 was drastically lower than the all-industry average. We're talking about a compensation gap of nearly 30%.
30% lower.
Yeah. So when wages are low, staff training is often minimal, and the separation rate, the turnover, is consistently higher than the industry average, you're basically trapped in a recruitment hell.
And high turnover costs money, right? It prevents skill building, and I guess that feeds right into problem two, low profitability and aging infrastructure.
Exactly. This is the foundational structural trap. The lodging sector has significantly lower labor productivity than the rest of the economy. Think about 510 million JPY per employee compared to the all-industry average of maybe 730 million JPY back in 2018.
That's a huge productivity gap. And if your margins are already thin, you just can't invest, which means the facilities suffer, right?
Precisely. A really high percentage, 54.1% of older, larger hotels built before 1981 still haven't undergone mandated seismic diagnosis.
That's a safety issue, clearly.
It is, but beyond the safety risk, these facilities are fundamentally mismatched to the modern traveler. They were built for large group tours,
Yeah.
Yet the market has shifted dramatically toward independent individual travelers who want personalized services and modern amenities. Low profitability creates this negative spiral, actively preventing necessary investment in both facilities and modern digital systems, which just suppresses revenue further.
Okay, so low profitability stops investment in modernizing buildings or paying for skilled staff, which just keeps the low productivity going. That brings us neatly to problem three, the failure to implement modern business practices, what we're calling the digital gap, or DX lag.
Yeah, this failure is simultaneously shocking and quite insightful. Despite being a global technology leader, Japan's tourism sector is deeply analog. In 2021, 73% of facilities, that's nearly 3/4, still rely on paper ledgers for data management.
Paper ledgers for customer data and bookings. In 2024 now? That just sounds like a recipe for disaster for personalized service.
It's a profound barrier. And when your data is stuck in physical notebooks, decision-making doesn't rely on analysis, but on the 3 Ks. Kain, intuition, Kaiken, experience, and Dokyo guts.
Ooh,
KKD. Yeah, you're setting dynamic pricing, staffing levels, procurement, all based on yesterday's tradition, not tomorrow's market conditions.
So while a competitor is changing rates based on real-time booking trends or flight arrivals, the KKD hotel is just leaving huge amounts of potential revenue on the table. Why are they failing to fix this, especially if the government is pushing DX so hard?
That's the crucial question. The industry itself pointed to 2 main barriers to DX back in 2021, each hovering around 45%. First, a lack of recognized necessity. And second, a lack of personnel with the necessary knowledge and skills.
Ah, the classic chicken and egg situation.
Exactly. The structural trap of low profit makes it almost impossible to hire the expensive internal IT talent needed to actually prove the necessity of DX in the first place.
Okay, that makes sense. If the problems are the structural fueled by labor gaps, analog management, aging assets, the government strategy really hinges on DX as the key to survival and growth. What exactly does this DX imperative look like on the ground operationally?
Well, the Japan Tourism Agency recognizes that implementing DX is pretty much the only way to break that productivity cycle and achieve sustainable profitability. It requires changes across 3 levels, starting with, individual facilities.
So finally moving beyond those paper ledgers.
Yes. Individual facilities desperately need property management systems, PMS, and customer relationship management, CRM tools. This lets them move away from KKD to dynamic pricing and data-driven procurement. They need AI for automation, maybe virtual check-in, multi-language support to handle that diverse, independent traveler.
Okay, that's the single hotel or inn. And what about the destinations as a whole?
That's where destination management organizations, or DMOs, come in. They need to focus on area-wide DX. This basically means centralizing data linking PMS and point-of-sale data across an entire region to optimize marketing and encourage revisitation using that centralized CRM.
Makes sense.
Unfortunately, this is where many DMOs are lagging pretty significantly in actually getting it done.
And the final piece of the travel experience is getting people around once they actually arrive.
Right. That's mobility as a service, or MaaS. Driver shortages for buses and taxis are worsening the secondary transportation problem. It's just less convenient for tourists. So DX is needed here too, to deploy smart solutions like AI on-demand transportation, which can dynamically route vehicles based on real-time bookings from tourists and locals alike.
The vision sounds fantastic. Dynamic systems, automation, interconnected data. But if the facilities themselves say a fundamental lack of skilled personnel is their primary barrier, this whole DX push just hits a wall domestically, doesn't it?
It does.
So if you can't hire the talent internally, you have to look outside. Traditionally, that meant chasing cheap labor, but that whole idea is sort of crumbling globally. What makes Vietnam the strategic choice now for securing this specialized talent?
Well, the sources, including outlets like Nikkei, confirm this shift in mindset. Outsourcing isn't just about cost reduction anymore. It's primarily about securing continuous, stable development resources because Japan's domestic IT talent shortage is just so severe. And Vietnam offers this unique combination of factors that addresses Japan's long-term resource problem, not just, short-term budget cuts.
Okay, let's break down that advantage. What's the immediate draw?
The immediate draw is still cost efficiency, no doubt. While it's rising rapidly, IT human resources in Vietnam are still cited as maybe 20% to 50% cheaper than in Japan.
Okay.
But the strategic advantage, the deeper thing, is the talent depth. Vietnam has made DX a national priority. You've got IT-related faculties in approximately 70% of its universities. They are actively training what they call X-talent, professional skilled in digital platforms, agile thinking, communication, and global operating skills.
That focus on soft skills communication, agile thinking, that suggests they're training resources specifically to partner effectively with Japanese firms, which, let's be honest, often struggle with communication in traditional offshore models.
Exactly. And a huge indicator of this strategic alignment is the leadership over there. Many Vietnamese IT company founders and core members actually hold degrees from major Japanese universities: Tokyo Tech, Hokkaido, University of Electrocommunications.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that provides immediate cultural and linguistic synergy that could bypass a lot of the typical communication roadblocks.
So how are Japanese companies moving beyond just simple short-term contracts to actually secure this dedicated, culturally aligned talent pool? Is there a mechanism for that?
Yes, they're using models like the Active Labo, which operates under a Build-Operate-Transfer, or BOT framework. This framework basically allows a Japanese company to establish their own 100% owned software development subsidiary in Vietnam over, say, 12 to 18 months.
That sounds a bit more involved than just hiring a contractor for 6 months. Why go through the effort of essentially building your own foreign company?
Well, it completely redefines the relationship. It moves from a transactional contract to a continuous strategic partnership focused on stability. You get a dedicated resource pool that works only for you, which stabilizes resource development long term. And when we look at the cost figures, the difference is massive.
Yeah.
This model provides access to remote engineers for labor costs that are less than half the estimated cost of standard large-scale engineering needs domestically in Japan.
Less than half. Wow.
So you're securing a dedicated, stable workforce for specialized long-term development at a radically competitive price.
And that competitive edge presumably allows them to invest in specialized DX that they just couldn't afford domestically. Are we seeing these Vietnamese teams moving past basic coding to really specialized solutions for the tourism vector?
Absolutely. They're acting as specialized DX consultants now. This includes high-level AI and data utilization like building demand forecasting models or review analysis engines, which finally moves the industry beyond those analog KKD decisions we talked about earlier. It even includes things like legacy modernization.
Legacy modernization. That sounds like pure IT maintenance work. Why does migrating old, say, VB6 systems to VB.NET matter to a hotel CEO? Is it just about security?
It's foundational. Many of the old proprietary reservation and booking systems are running on code that's decades old, often unsupported. You simply cannot integrate new AI tools, cloud-based PMS systems, or dynamic pricing algorithms unless you modernize or replace that underlying legacy structure first. So the Vietnamese teams are performing that fundamental high-skill structural renovation that enables everything else.
Okay, got it. And specifically for tourism, are they having tangible effects on the labor crisis? That was problem number one.
Yes, definitely. They're building specialized high-load platforms. One case study mentioned a specialized matching platform developed for the tourism industry. That directly resulted in a 40% increase in hiring speed and a 30% reduction in recruitment costs.
Wow, okay. That's a profound technological fix for the industry's most immediate human resource problem. This really sounds like almost the perfect solution for Japan. Strategic partners, lower costs, deep technical talent. But let's finish with the reality check. Is this reliance on Vietnamese talent sustainable in the long run?
That is the new challenge, isn't it? Japan is racing to secure offshore IT talent, but Vietnam itself is projected to face a significant shortage of IT human resources. The numbers are maybe up to 200,000 people short by 2025.
Wow, so the labor cost advantage might be temporary. That really forces Japanese...
Precisely. The window for simple cost arbitrage is closing fast, which really stresses the urgent need for these strategic long-term co-creation models like that BOT framework we discussed.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've traced Japan's critical structural tourism problems, that cycle of low wages and high turnover, the aging assets, the debilitating reliance on intuition, the KKD culture, and the resulting DX gap. And we've shown how Vietnamese technical talent, with its cost efficiency, its deep pool, and its specialized DX focus, is providing a vital technical and personnel bridge right now.
The technical capacity is clearly there. It's available to tackle the operational problems of efficiency, data management, and specialized service development. That seems clear.
However, this leaves us with a final provocative thought. Can this powerful technological injection on its own fundamentally overcome the deeply entrenched low profitability structure and that reliance on traditional KKD management in Japanese tourism? Will merely introducing superior technology without a core shift in business models, pricing strategies, and internal culture that enable the Japanese tourism industry to finally make a significantly larger sustainable contribution to Japan's GDP?
That really is the open question you have to consider as you watch this crucial Japanese industry evolve, often in partnership with its neighbors.
A perfect place to leave our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.